All right, so let me tell you what you can watch here. You can watch the morning Zoom where I chopped it up and just gave the important pieces in the morning. How did we trade this? And then I went back live for this long here, and you'll get to watch that and any add-ons I might have made. And then you get to watch this entry as well and any add-ons I might have made there. So the Zoom is chopped up. It's quick. And then this is in real time. And then this is in real time. A lot of golden nuggets dropped into this price action. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow for the AM briefing. Enjoy listening. I'd prefer to see this battle plan here work out. At least let's take this low here at 63.80. Let's get underneath there, and then let's see if we can get some sort of move back up. Wow, look at that. Dow grabbed that low. Okay, we grabbed that low. I'm going to launch my Dom now because I'll be interested. Man your battle stations. Man your battle stations. This is what we're looking for. Man your battle stations, gentlemen. Somewhere in here, I think you take a long. Depends on how aggressive you want to be. You know, when I talk about I wanted to lose that level quickly and come back quickly, there it is. Remember, we are under the bull bear line. We are laddering down. We're under the opening. We are under VWAP. And I did add to my long on that move. I'm now long 2 contracts. All right, certainly can't let it hurt you now. Remember, we are counter to the move here. Just a trade idea at this trade location. If you didn't get in the first time, you got in the second time. I mean, touched it perfect. If it makes a new low, I will be out. Let's get up there. Come on. All right, existing home sales here at the top of the hour. Do still have this strong level here below us. All right, get up there. Let's go. And the number was higher than expectations. Dow is now back inside of yesterday's range. Well, I said that when I went long here, I said my stop is under the low. I wanted to give this as much of a chance as possible. Now, if it comes back to the opening, you're not long and you want to be long off the opening, I think you're going to be just fine. You know, you got the opening, you got VWAP, you got all of that in your favor. Things not in your favor is trend. So all long should be small. Not sure I'd be looking to add to the trade here, just a little too early, or as an initial entry. You know, the good thing about this type of trade, the exits are pretty obvious, targeting the overnight high at least. We get above the overnight high, I think we're going to have a really good move. You can see got 2 contracts there now. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, if you're looking for a place to short NQ, trend line, VWAP, you got some backsides there. But if we break that, I think we're in. NQ is showing it's above its VWAP. But boy, it's at a very tricky area. Dow, just phenomenal. Tough spot to be looking for an add-on. You kind of want to see it break. We're at the overnight halfback and against this key strong level. I mean, look how difficult that looks like that's going to be for NQ. All right, we need an explosive white candle. Like a skyrocket. Just so hard. Come on, big white candle. We want to take a long off that strong level right there and pick the stop loss that works for you. Now, we are against this trend line, you know, but this is the trend line that keeps getting adjusted higher and higher. So that's not as important as this trend line. All right, if you took that, be mindful of not letting it go against you. We are at an area where it could go against pretty easily. But if we can pop this, hopefully we target up there at that 64.19. You know, now you're up several points, so you can't let it go against you. Beautiful. Come on. Target the overnight high. Come on. Big white candle. There we go. How are we doing, guys? Hopefully it'll stay above this strong level. But we do know on a 30-minute chart, we're trending down. Battle plan trade idea number 5 gave us a location that we would be interested in looking for longs. We'd like to see it not go any lower than here. Very nice. Come on. All right, I'm going to move my stop to my add-on to 94, under the opening, under the VWAP, under the backside base. So I moved it to 94 to capture at least that portion of the move. Makes sense to me. I could move it to here. That would capture basically a 30-pointer on the add-on.
Should I be trading?
Yes.
Am I biased?
Yes.
Am I following price or fighting price?
Following. Remember, we are counter. See money, take money. Nothing wrong with that. We do multiple contracts, peeling some off on the way. We have no clue how far this is going to go, and keep a financed runner back. James, when George speaks, the market listens. I don't know about that. We've played it very well, have we not? In fact, let's hide the drawings. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. I mean, look where we're at. It looks a little more daunting when you look at it like this. No one would be shocked if this was the top. It didn't even grab the overnight highs, and it slammed back in and made a new low. No one would be surprised. So, I mean, we're getting a little thin here, but if we can get over the overnight high, we're probably pretty good. But it may not happen, so be careful. It may not happen. So if you took that long off the strong level, were you able to capture 10 points? There's still nothing wrong with see money, take money. We are counter. Barely, almost. Very aggressive price action. So we now have IB lows and highs. You want to get those marked on your chart. I'm going to keep my chart clean right now. Back to the strong. My goodness. They don't make it easy, do they? Session and stacking is still in favor of the bears. We're below the bull bear line on a high time frame. We know we're laddering down. Longs are counter. When the bears are in control, longs double and triple tap all the time. And it's one reason I favor having a financed runner in a negative position, because it double and triple taps all the time until the bulls regain control, and then that tends to stop happening. So if you can get in early on a long and can keep a financed runner back, it gives you the best odds. Come on, you got within 7 points of the overnight high. And if you're green on any of that move and you're out, just be done. Green over greed, walk, go enjoy your day. So let's say we were laddering up and this was the second ladder. The wick makes a lot of sense. When it's counter, lean more towards trading the body. And it's about to get out my add-on, and that's why my stop is behind that. If it makes it through all of that, I want to be out of my add-on. And then it messes up my math for my other runner, but whatever. So my add-on from here is about to get out. Is it going to be anything? Or are we going to vomit and make new lows? And we'll reset and replan, re-strategize, re-everything. Sorry to continue sounding like a broken record, but we know we're laddering down on a high time frame. Longs are counter, small, see money, take money. So didn't add as much as I was hoping to add to that long. It was only like 7 points. If I'd have put it behind here, it would have been 15 points. Too bad it got me there, but it is what it is. Well, I'll look to add back another contract if given the setup. Of course, that would be on the reclaimer here to come here. Can we reclaim this level? front side wick and base. So far, just an inside day, which is after a high energy day. We expect there to just be a day of balance. I think between 05 and 03 is an acceptable entry. So this is where I wanted the price to go to. Then to come back in, just know where you're wrong and get out. Little trend line here. Get a little fair value gap area into here with a small front side. Well, I did go long at 03. Gave the gift to break even, but I ignore this profit and loss because this is off now because I added to that other contract. I mean, I have enormous built-in profit here. So I did go long at 03. I put a stop at 98. And if it gets me, oh, well, that means my add-on lost money. I'm still long from yesterday's low. Although this doesn't reflect it because it goes by your last entry. Or right now it's actually combined from my last entry down here in this entry. So I don't look at the P&L. I'm just trading structure. We are countered by being long, small. So I'd made 7 points from my add-on earlier, and I'm risking 5 of them on this add-on, ensuring that whatever I did just today is still green. Small, of course. Didn't get quite the follow through we were hoping for on that first move up to the overnight high, because I would have taken the add-on contract off at the overnight high. But that didn't happen. We'll see what happens here when we break back above. It's the day after a high energy day. It's usually a balancing day. See money type, take money type of day. Well, it bounced where we wanted it to bounce. Down. It didn't bounce where I wanted it to bounce back to the top. And that might conclude my morning here. 2 more ticks, and that'll be it for me. All right, guys, we just got off of Zoom and coming into a very interesting area that I'd be interested in engaging in price if it came down a little bit more. Still hoping that this happens here. And a lot of times they have to pull back a little further back, grab some more buyers, and go from there. Let's just watch here for a second. All right, so I'm going to add to my contract from yesterday down here at 86. So still got a lot of embedded profit in that contract from yesterday at 86. Let's see what happens here. Once again, the bears do control. So long should be small. See money, take money is what I've told the traders all morning. That if you get in, see money, take money. The day after a high energy day, you cannot expect much follow through. And so let's do a little add on here at this 86. So this morning, just to recap what you just watched, I captured 7 points in the add on here. And then I lost 5 points in this add on. So I was wanting to do that to ensure a green day, but it's coming into this area here that I want to take this long again off the 86. So we 86 there and we bounced. So what I'm going to do, I'm honestly going to put my stop at 85 for that add-on. Okay. So I'm risking 1 point. It still keeps me green by 1 point. but it came into that area where I wanted to take that trade, and now it's up. And now I'm going to just move it to break even at my 86. Once again, ignore the negative numbers. Every time you add, it goes by your last contract, not your first contract. I wish it did it by first contract, but it doesn't. It does it by last contract. So there's my add-on there. It's risk-free now. Well, number one, it was risk-free anyway because I have so much profit from yesterday's long that I'm still in. If you watched that video yesterday, I was long from here. So still really nice and protected, and added one more contract here. And now we'll see what happens. Now, ideally, if this thing gets back up over, I'm interested in taking this as another add-on. If that happens, give me another add-on. So that would take it to 3 contracts. And so now this is in the profit. I can't let it go against me. And so you just hold. Now the bears do control. We're under the bull bear line and all of that. So that's beautiful. And that's why I went live again. I didn't really expect us to get down there. I had my stop, as you know, you just watched here. And boy, once we lost that level, it vomited. And that's where I try to place my stops, is where am I wrong? And then you place your stop, and then you wait for your next entry. And so here we are in this long, and added onto the contract at 86. Cool. 10 points is back at the opening. Letting the group know what I did. It was the front side we drew out. Okay, there we go. Nice. Let's go. Once again, ignore the P&L because my original contract is long from 62. So that one's up 30 points. And now this one is up, this add-on at 86. 8 points. I really don't want to see it come back down to there. So probably what I'm going to do, I could keep it at break even. It's a risk-free add-on, costs me nothing. It has no risk, which is one of the parts of our system that we like so much. But I'm going to keep it right there at my entry and let it go. If it comes back and gets me, what do I care? It literally cost me nothing to stay in this trade. Could I capture 5 or 6 points here? Yes. Is that a good idea? Probably, because I'm counter. But if it gets me out, that's the gamble I'm taking here. I could follow this at 50%, which is also another logical way to handle this runner, is just you keep following it up at 50%, and wherever it gets you, it gets you. If it breaks out above the opening, stay behind the opening. It breaks above the strong level, stay behind the strong level. That's another way to do it. So now it's just waiting. It's just waiting. But I don't care about this P&L. I have to keep reminding my own self of that. It doesn't matter. I know where I entered, and I know where I'm at. So my contracts, the original contract is here. My add-on contract is now here. If I wanted to average both of those, the easiest way to do that is throw up a little fib thing and go, all right, I did 86. I did here. Where's my average? My average is at 74 for both contracts. So if I wanted to move the stop for both contracts to 74, it would be a break-even trade if it came and got. So here we're entering 10 points for the add-on. Now, if we get over this VWAP, I'll probably move my stop on the add-on to lock 10 points. It's 10 more points. Not a bad way to go. There we go. Come on. So this entry is up 30 there. Add on at 86 we did together. Almost 10 points there. I'd like it to go ahead and pop that darn VWAP. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. It's not looking that great, is it? So it's 86 plus 5, 91. If I said, you know what, I want to capture 5 points of the move, the 50% of the move, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially since you're counter. Let's go ahead and move it to the 5 points. If it gets me out, I don't care. It's 5 points. It's free. There we go. Let's bust it up. Let's get above that 86 now. 96, whatever. There we go. So I'll hang out with you. If it gets me out at the 5 points, that's it. But if we can get back up over, I'll take that long right there. I'll add one more contract there. And let's talk about that for one quick second. So let's say it does that, and I'm able to add. Well, I've got 17 points of profit in this add-on here, right? So, what I could do for both of those, sorry, I don't know if that went away, is where is the 50% of these two? So the average price would be right here. So if we can bust this and get over the top, I can add here, move my stop to 2 contracts to here, and then my add-ons are risk-free, and I've got triple the leverage. Will that happen? No clue. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to keep that line right there for right now. And if it gets me out at 5 points, cool. I'm officially done. It's past my trading time, but that was just too juicy not to take. Very nice. Now I'll add at 03, and I'll put the double stop at 94.25. It got me in, double stop at 94.25. So now I've got triple the leverage. I went from 1 contract to 3 contracts. And those last 2 contracts are now risk-free. And it has to come back almost 9 points to get me out. If it does, oh well. If it hits the overnight high, I'm going to probably take those, at least 1 contract off. So that's what we're looking for now. All right, hopefully this is where we bounce. Get back above that strong level. Man, that strong level has been something. And if it gets me out, I will close my platform and go about my day. All right, so if we make it to the overnight high, if this add-on will add 30 points, this add-on will add 15 points. If I take off one of the contracts, which one am I mentally going to take off? Do I want to take off the 15 pointer mentally and go, okay, I have still two entries, this and this? Or do I want to take off, keep this one and keep this one, capturing that 30 points? It's up to me which one I mentally decide to get rid of. Or do you get rid of both of them? Nothing wrong with that, because then that would be adding 46 points to my total. Let's just see what happens. If it gets me out, it makes it real easy. I've got nothing to do. So let's just keep them here. See what happens. Whatever. Honestly, that's the attitude. Whatever. I did the right thing. I did the right thing. And if you do the right thing enough times in the right locations, you are going to be just fine. It's when you're doing the wrong things in the wrong locations because you're trying to make something happen. Man, they just don't want to get above the strong level, do they? Come on, blow the top. Big white candle. We need another big white candle. And then the shorts run for the door. Let's make that a little bigger. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out which one of these things is my DOM because it's a little off. You slide that over. That looks better now. All right, let's blow the top, boys. Let's get up there. Take one off at 1675 is what I'm going to do if it gets up there. Just before the level. So right there is where we'll take that off. I'm just going to take one of them off. Now, I could keep them at the same average number, or since we're pushing up, I can move my stop to break even on this third add-on. There's not a wrong choice there, but it does keep testing this level and keep testing this level. So I'm going to keep them at the same average. Doesn't mean I'm right. Managing a runner is a bit of a blunt instrument. Come on, get up there. You know, the other thing I could do here. So I went long at 86. I could say, all right, I'm going to take both off if it gets back underneath here. So I'll be capturing 14 points on the first add-on and then probably losing 2 or 3 points on the second add-on. So if I wanted to ensure that the add-ons made me some kind of money, where would I want to be? That's a great question. I think just under 6,400. So let's just do that. Let's move it there. We're going to move this to 6,400. 63.99. And what this does, it ensures I make 13 points on this trade add-on, and then I would lose 4 points on that one. Not bad. Net 9-point winner on the add-on, completely risk-free. And of course, we're looking to get up here and take one contract off. And so this runner at this moment is up 43 points. This runner at this moment is up 20 points. And this runner at this moment is up 4 points. Oh, come on. Get up there. And this would be a combined 9-point add-ons. I'm cool with that. All right, so price is still trying to decide what it wants to do. Worst case, the two add-ons make me 9 points. Best case, it adds 50 points. Man, I just don't like trading this time of the day. I just don't. But it gave me just a fat pitch of a trade right there, so I had to take it. Come on, get up there. You know, if you're sitting here watching this and this was your trade, you could always put your stop at break even here and get out of the second add-on and keep your first contract further back. Your first add-on further back. Nothing wrong with that. By me averaging both, I'm trying to go for the bigger win. But, you know, there's no wrong answer there on that. We just wait. So notice we came to here, which was the height of this. We came back and touched, which is drawn here. Now, can we do that? I don't know. That's just where I'm interested in engaging in price. Come on. You can do it. Come on. I can see my stop right there. Or my take profit, right? I believe I'm on the right side of price action here. How far did that get up? I got up to 5 points. I'm not going to let that trade hurt me now. So I'm going to put my stop at my entry. It already bounced off the strong level beautifully. And I'm going to, on this add-on at 86, I think I'm going to lock in 10 points and move it to 96. So that's what I'm going to do now. Because we bounced off the strong level well, I don't think it needs to revisit it. It doesn't need to come back to here. If it does, just get me out of this add-on. Cost me nothing. It's a break-even trade. And then I can move this one a little further back, and I'm still going to preserve 10 points. Remember, combined, I was only going to have 9 points. But because we've already bounced, I don't want it to come back to this strong level. If it does, get me out. I can still lock 10 points here. If I wanted to, I could move this to 9 points and say it's the same trade. Now, I'm locking 9 points on my add-ons, and I can move the stop back even a little bit more to try to keep me in the trade. There is no right answer there. It's just permutations of how you want to manage the chess pieces on the board. I really don't want it to hit that strong level again. It's already bounced. Now keep going. Problem is yesterday was a high energy day, and today is probably going to be a balancing day. You know, let's look at the RT sessions side by side. Look at this. It's just an inside day. We're doing nothing and going nowhere. So it's real difficult to expect a breakout and follow through today. So that's one reason the add-ons have been a bit challenging today. So I got long in there at 03. If it gets me out, I don't care. All right, got me out. Oh, well, I'm done with that particular add-on. I'm done with that add-on. What I mapped out didn't fully happen. It went up 5 points. I'm not going to let that go back against me. That's just me. Your mileage may vary. You might be better at that than I am. So now we've got this stop at 96, locking 10 points on this trade. Not bad. Not bad. So we went long here. And now my stop's going to be here. If it gets me, I could care less. I made money. I did the right thing. I added to a winning trade. Do the right things in the right spots often enough, you're going to be really successful. That's what we do in our room. We reinforce these principles all day long. All right, don't need this one anymore. And will I still take a TP here? Yes, because if I take a TP there, that's either going to be a 9-pointer or a 30-pointer. Is what that's going to turn out to be. And I'm fine with either of those scenarios. And actually, I can move that to 16 to capture the 30-pointer. There we go. Either one, I'm fine with. Would it make a better video if we went straight up to the overnight high? Sure. Do I know that's going to happen? No. All I can do is play the best chess I can when I'm in a winning trade, knowing it's the day after a high energy day and we're probably going to have a slop and chop day. And we are. Unless we get a massive tweet or something. The Ukraine war ends. All tariffs end. I don't know. You know what I mean? All I can do is play the most perfect chess. I do know I am done going long off this strong level. Not going to happen. Now, my goal today is I hope this is the RTH low. And I will move the stop from here, probably just behind this strong level. You're like, man, you got 40 points right now. You had 50 points overnight. Why didn't you take it? Well, it's hard to make 100 pointers if you keep taking your profit at 50, right? And I'm adding to my trade because I could look at this and go, well, I have made, let's say it gets me out here. I will have added 12 points of profit today by adding to my trade. I could literally move this to minus 10 points. But I'm not going to do that. Right now, I'm just going to keep it where are we? We're somewhere right in here. And so I have two contracts. This one, the add-on, when we went live, stop is here. The goal is for it to hit here, but man, it's just doesn't seem like it's going to want to do that. We're now back under the strong level. That is not good for the bulls. All right, let's go ahead and end it. Remember, the bears have the ball. All longs are counter. Small. And like see money, take money. So I made the right decision there that, okay, it bounced beautifully off this level. We do not need to revisit it. We got under it and bounced to the south. Well, the darn bears control. All right, looks like I'm going to capture my 10-pointer on my add-on trade. We'll see what happens. We could literally bounce right there and go and make that overnight high. Let's see what happens. Now, if this thing pushed back through, I would tell my traders, if you wanted to try that long one more time, go for it, because we have beautiful magnets and targets above our head. But do know the bears have the ball. And almost. Making a note to my group, added 10 points net to my runner add-ons back to the original contract from yesterday. I'm assuming it's going to get me here. And there we go. All right. This is a slopping, flopping chop day. And chop days tend to take out a low, take out a high, and then come back to POC. So POC is right there in the middle of the strong range at 88. And I've advised my group to wait until we do a liquidity grab. And also we have battle plan trade number 5, where I wanted to come to this level, get back up into this strong range, and maybe give a trade. Now we kind of got that here in the morning, and that's actually what got me into my first ad on the long side. And then we had this beautiful move here. And so now we wait. We got POC there at 63.88. And can it just do a little quick grab here? Then let's see what happens. Taking a long right at this strong level is probably going to be a little risky. Let's bring this back to RTH against RTH, and you'll see that we are just inside of yesterday's range. So it would not shock me if we came and touched this level, bounced, and had a nice reaction. So let's take a watch here. This level is about 73.25. Just take a peek over here. If you wanted to give it a little more space, if you were interested in that kind of knife catch, you have the 73 here, and then you've got 71 underneath that. So the other thing I was going to draw before it did that little crazy thing is down to 71 and this. So this is where I would think we're going to have a reaction. And by the way, that officially got me out of my runner here. Because what I decided is I wanted so this runner I had yesterday at this location, I wanted this to be the low of the day. And so I had my stop there. So I'm out of that trade from yesterday as my lotto runner. You don't know how far price is going to go ever. In most cases, it behooves you to keep a runner back for it to go. Now, if you are in a prop account, you're going to take your trade, you're going to take your profit before the end of the day, or you follow our 3-contract system of how you stay in a trade longer. If you're in a cash account or an account where you can hold overnight, you play it a little differently. So yesterday on that trade, let's just go back and look at this. On that long, you would have probably been able to TP up here because I'd have had my stop behind this, and then it would have been behind the break level, but at least a few points. So you never know. You might have been able to TP there at the end of the day. No big deal. You just manage it a little differently if you're in a prop account, because especially if you have intraday trailing drawdown. Now, if you're in a static count or an end of the day drawdown, you have more options of how you manage your lotto runner. So we did grab the low. Not as far as I wanted it to go. Doesn't mean the move is over. On a larger time frame, we know we're laddering down. Is yesterday just another higher low? Powell speaks tomorrow, 30 minutes after the market opens. We're still having an inside day. Nothing exciting's happened. Wouldn't be surprised if from here it runs right back to POC. Around that 88 mark. Doesn't mean I need to be in it. Bears have the ball. But let's see if we get this battle plan trade here. Number 5. I mapped out 5 entries last night of where I would be interested in doing engaging in price. See, we're here. We're just a little after the quote unquote New York lunch, but before the silver bullet hour. Let's see what happens into this area. Then, of course, the eyeballs go next to here. If we get underneath here, my next strong levels is way down here. So we'll see what happens. right, let's see what happens. So somewhere between there, that 73 to 71 would be an interesting place. Of course, you know, the bigger magnet is down here at the RTH low. And then look for a reaction to come back up and start a laddering sequence. All right, there we go. Coming into the area now. See if it wants to push just a little bit more under the strong level, or if that's going to hold price. We'll see. All right. Pushed a little underneath it there. Now let's see what happens. I'll drop in time frames here so I can watch this at the smallest level. All right, this is where I tell the group to man their battle stations, and let's see what happens. I'd love to see it make one more low and then pop back above with some strength. Okay, there we go. Of course, we're laddering down. It's bear's ball. It's always safest to wait for laddering before you take a long. See if we can get back above the strong level now. Or does it want further down? Bigger magnet, of course, is that RTH low. See if we can get back above the strong, or we're going to continue going down. Now, so this is where we're expecting there to be a reaction. It doesn't mean a reversal, but if it gets back up over, I think now at this time, you could take a long anywhere between above 72, 73, somewhere in there. Let's see what happens. Here, let's make candles a little bigger. All right. See if we can bust over the strong level. Beautiful. See if this thing wants to come in here. I think it can go long between 74 and 72. And it doesn't look like it's going to give that second opportunity. You know, when you're looking at the battle plan trades, you know, this is the single most dangerous place to take it. This is the better place to take it. A second ladder is even better place to take it. And the goal is to get back to at least to 88. And of course, this could just push price down. We make a new low and we start all back over down here. You know, I don't like just pressing to go long here. I really do want a pullback into here. Like I said, I think anywhere between, now I would probably say 75.25 and 72. Okay. Well, so I could basically hit the 75.25 right there, but you needed another tick or so to get you in. Okay, beautiful. Oh, you're not seeing my DOM. So I took that small between these two levels where I was expecting there to be a reaction. And then my goal was to go full size if it pushed back in between that 75.25 and 72. But it had other plans. So this is what we do. Doesn't mean this is the only entry. As I said, that's the most risky entry. I'm up nicely on the day. I could afford a 3 to 4 point stop loss on that easily. And we'll see if we get a pushback in. You know, on a 3-minute chart, nothing's really happened. On a 1-minute chart is where we're living here. So once again, I think 75 to 72, you could take an entry. You know, and if someone was wanting to be aggressive long here, you go long right there. You go long right there. You got to pull back. You weren't chasing price. You weren't going long up here. You were letting there to be a pullback. And you might say, you know what, dang it, I want in. I want in. If it makes a new low, I'm out. How far is that? Okay, 7 points. Well, no big deal. We're in a slop and chop day. And what's price probably going to do? It's going to take out a low and go back to POC. Plus, this is in alignment with our battle plan trade. Well, I was going to add there, but I didn't go there. Now, do I know it's going to keep going? No. But the odds are we're going to make it back into POC. Come on. There's a 10-pointer. Let's go back and reference that. So this is drawn out to play this strong range, which I did this morning here. But now we know a lot more information. We know we're in a slop and chop day. And so that changes how I would want to trade this. So now, if we get above POC, I'm going to be looking to add to my trade. Go back to a 3-minute chart. Pull in our POC. See if we make it back to POC. Cost you 1 MES point a day to be in our group. 1. I think it's worth it every single day. You just take these trades and you go with. And if you're a big balls trader and you went long there with 3 ES contracts, you made more than a lot of people make working all week. You do you. And making it back to POC. And boom, back to POC. That's what we do. Now, if I want, I lock my 10 pointer. Lock my 10 pointer. I'm counter, but at a great trade location. So because I'm up so nicely, I could also just say, you know what? I want this to be my lotto runner. I don't want to get out at 10 points. Where is 10 points? 82.25. I don't want to get out right there. I don't want to get out right there. So don't trade your P&L. Look at the structure and go, where do I want to be? I'm going to lock in 77. Let's go to 77. I'm totally cool with that. And of course, I'm looking to add to my trade. So just because I have one contract does not mean I will finish with one contract. In fact, you saw I had an order there. If it had pushed back in, I would have added. Very nice. Taking a screenshot from my group. All right, let's go. Let's go. I don't need POC on here anymore. I know where I'm at. Waited for our trade. It went into the zone where I was expecting there to be a reaction or a bounce or a turnaround. I wish I could draw turnaround levels where it turns around and goes 20 points. But all I can do is map out my battle plan trades. Where do I want to engage in price? Where do I want to engage in price? And now that POC is right here, POC is not a place I'm interested in adding. We need to get away from POC. Show me some strength. I have no interest in adding to my trade right here. Could I? Sure. And then I would just average those two together and move my stop there. But I really want the bulls to prove to me something here. We got to break above this 93. 93 is going to be key. 93 to 95. We've got to get above this area. Then would I be willing to take another long off this strong level? I probably would, because I would have such embedded profit that I could get away with it. So I went long at 72.25. Okay, so at that time, I'd be up 30 points. Would I be willing to give back 10 of them to double my leverage with no risk? Sure. So let's see what happens. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's see if we can get up there above that strong level again. We're in the strong range. I mean, look how this thing has played all day. This is an indicator you get in our group. And we came to here. Very nice. You can see here we bounced off both sides of this thing several times. This has been the Achilles heel of the bulls. Now, if you weren't long and you wanted to take a long against here, you certainly could. And I think your out would be 77. Or if you wanted to be greedier, let that thing come on down to 83 or so. But price already did what I wanted it to do. Price already did what I wanted it to do. I think I might add at 83. Now, the battle plan calls for the long here. Let's go back and look at it. Now, this is me flying blind, nearly 24 hours ago. If I'm to draw that there, this is where I'm thinking price would come back and give us a possible entry. And as I said, you can go long there at the bottom of the strong range if you wanted. If you want to be greedy or do like 83, but anywhere between there and 83 makes a lot of sense to me. Didn't get to 83, no entry for me. I'm going to wait. Let's get up here and do this add-on. And it may not happen. We might stay right here at POC until Powell tomorrow. I just don't like entering trades at POC. This darn strong range is doing its job. All right, there we go. There's a 20 pointer. Any of you ever watched the movie The Right Stuff? I love that movie. Man, I wanted to be a fighter pilot so bad growing up. Perfect vision was required, which I do not have. But whenever we hit 10 points, 20 points, 30 points, we celebrate that in our group. And it always reminds me in The Right Stuff where one of the test pilots is flying and he hits Mach 1 and he goes, Mach 1, Mach 2. I just love that. It's like, all right, I just hit a little milestone. Well, we just hit Mach 2 right there. You know, POC has this magnetic hold on price, and it's real difficult for it to break through that hold. But when it does, it unleashes. And this is where we're at right now. We are still in the magnetic hold of POC. Will we break it? So what would be a proper stop now? I'm going to say underneath the strong range at this point. So we went long at 72. Let's lock in a 10 pointer at 82. Now I can go back and do that. I'm fine with locking in a 10 pointer at 82. So 82.25 right here. If it gets back all the way to here, you know, the thing that sucks about that is that's actually a fantastic entry to go long. That's the thing that stinks about that trade. So probably what I would do is if this thing came down in here to 83, I would probably add to my trade at 83, but have both stops right here. That's what I would do. So if that thing comes back into 83, I'm going to have an extra stop there. Let's go 83.50. And it's really a risk-free add-on right there at an area that I think price could likely bounce. Doesn't mean I'm right. I'm counter, actually. The Bears have the ball. They're dribbling it. I'm going to give it a shot. I'll give back 1 point. Bounce right off the bottom of the range again. My goodness. Hopefully that was the bounce off the bottom of the range. Just loves the strong level. Strong range. You know what? I'm going to be a little greedier. I'm going to be a little greedier. And I'm fine. I don't need to make all the money. I'm already green. I want to give myself the best odds of a great trade. Let's bring this thing down. Let's bring that thing to here. And hopefully it doesn't matter. Hopefully that's bounced again off the bottom of the range. But we are at POC. Powell speaks tomorrow. We may do nothing. You know, absolutely nothing wrong with locking a 10-pointer. Yeah, I was talking to one of my traders. You know what? I'm going to do exactly what I told him. No shame in locking a 10-pointer. The bottom of this range should hold. Should hold. So I'm going to lock my 10-pointer. And if for some reason this thing gets down here about 80, I'm probably going to look to add again. I'll just go long again. I'm going to lock my 10-pointer there. Yeah, changed my mind. When you're in the profit, you can talk about that stuff. Where do I want to add? Where do I want to move my stop? You know, locking 10-pointer is a good day. It's a good day no matter what day it is. Let's see if we can break above. I want it to break above. I'm long, but I know I'm counter. See money, take money. Don't expect the home run. And if I get a home run, delightful. And to be honest, if price, let's say, just started ripping to the north here, not giving me another entry, I would actually probably move my stop back to my entry and just reset and say, let's see how the day ends and what do I want to do with this runner. Now, if you're prop trading and you got to make $200 a day or $250 a day, make sure you capture that. I get it. No big deal. And it's really smart if you're trading a prop account to have an idea of where price is going to bounce back in your face and you take the profit right before it. So let's say this strong level here, we're expecting price to bounce. Take your profit right before it. Nothing wrong with that. That it saves all the intraday drawdown if you have that. Static or end of the day, you don't have to worry about that so much. And here we are just hanging out at POC. Now, Come on. You can do it. Sometimes you got to sweet talk the price. Not beg it, just sweet talk it. My goodness. All right, so we're turning into the silver bullet hour. 2 hours of trading left on the day. Can we make a run to the overnight high? Look at that, like 3 dojis in a row on a 3-minute chart. 10 minutes going nowhere. Back to Mach 2. 20 pointer. My goodness. Hanging out at POC. My goodness. Good time to close your trading platform, go run an errand, go hit Home Depot, go to the grocery store, anything. Nothing to do but the waiting. Back to POC. My goodness. All right, getting close to getting me, I guess. Still locking a 10-pointer. Fantastic trade. We'll see what happens. The only advantage of it getting me out is I can start working on tonight's battle plan. Strong range, holding price again. Well, is it ready? Are we ready? Should we man our battle stations? My goodness. Come on. Well, we're getting exactly the price action we thought we'd get. After a high energy, short covering day, we're just doing the slop and chop. We are just doing the slop and chop. And we're hanging out at POC, you know, the number one song by Sloppy Johnny. That's what we're doing, hanging out at POC. Nothing to do here but just hang out. Grab yourself a Coca-Cola, hang back and relax. All right, come on, price. Let's rip it. Coming into the bottom of the hour. Final 90 minutes. Well, this might end up concluding my day. As you know from the wrap-up video today, we were along here. I added here. I actually added here. And then I got out. And then I waited for this trade and went long here. It bounces both ways. It bounces both ways. See if this thing's going to come and get me. Take me out of my misery. We're here at the turnover here at the bottom of the hour. And if it gets me out of my 10-pointer, it gets me out of my 10-pointer. I'll probably re-enter at 78. If it gets me out. Hopefully it bounces right there. Like I said, about that 83 area is where I expect it to bounce. But I would probably take one more long down there. It'd be a small stop, but it already bounced. I was hoping for a push through. Actually, I hope it bounced at 83. Where did it go? What was the low of that? 83. Okay. Perfect. So if you took that 83, you're up 3 points now. Don't let it go against you. Longs are counter, but that is not surprising. And that's why my stop was under the 83. If it took out 83, I won out, and it locks my 10 pointer. So let's see what happens here. A bounce doesn't mean a reversal, you know? Very nice. Come on. Now let's go get them, boys. Let's go get them. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. Not looking that great. Not looking that great. So Dow took that level that we were looking at here, came back in inside of yesterday's range. NQ is doing what we're doing. We're having an inside day. All of today's RTH action is inside of previous day RTH action. Under its battle plan, I mean, under, not its, I don't do a battle plan for NQ, under its VWAP, under its trend line. Not that great. So whatever happens, happens. That was the last bounce before it gets me. So if it comes back down, I'm sure that'll get me. And for me, I will hit the battle plan. I won't trade any longer. Take my green and be done. Green over greed. Man, I should have just live streamed, but I thought this was going to be a quicker trade. I thought this was going to be a much quicker trade. And then it just got long-winded. Very nice. Very nice. Come on. So if you took that 83, you're almost at a 10 pointer yourself right now. My goodness. All right, hold on. I'm about to put something up on the screen that's going to be way too big. So, yeah. Also, make sure I remind people about the battle plan. Last night, I gave 5 trade ideas, and 2 of them paid nicely. Oh, so sorry. Let's put that on the screen. Okay. I was wondering where it was. I was moving some images around on my screen. Sorry. I was trying to paste it. I'm like, it's not showing me anything. Oh, my goodness. You know, those alerts should appear exactly where your a folder is, not on another screen. All right. Back to trading. So I think my stop is perfectly located. If it gets me out there, that's what I want. Entering the final 20 minutes of the silver bullet hour. I will call it at the top of the hour, no matter where it's at. I got to work on the battle plan for tonight. Maybe I could work on both at the same time. Probably not. It deserves my full attention. Back to the 20 pointer again. My goodness. All right, I want to zoom out. Turn that off, turn that off. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. Still holding in it. Put that in my group real quick. You notice today just another lower high like yesterday was. I told the group coming here, I said, this just might be a lower high. It turned out to be that's what it is. And then we got session stacking to the south. The bears control. Bears have the ball. Shorts are counter, small if at all. Being very strategic about where you do that. It can be very profitable. It's the downtrends, in all honesty, that creates the most explosive longs. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. All right, let's go back to a 10-minute chart here. I don't really want to watch every little gyration. I don't need every little gyration. We went long there. I got my stop here. I want this out of there. That's all I want to see. If it gets me, wonderful. I can get on the battle plan. Certainly will not look for a new entry unless something amazing happened. And then I might. But certainly would never jeopardize the green day for more. Green day is locked and loaded. Nothing will change that. I want to go back to here. I want to throw on a volume profile for yesterday. Did the POC really finish up there? No, POC finished here. Okay. Now let's get caught up. So yesterday's POC was up there, and today the POC is lower. That's not a good sign for the bulls. And we are laddering down, so that's not shocking. Ray, there we go. This is the most accurate way to look at it. And this was Wednesday's POC. Don't need to see the line. I just want the words. Yep, I think the market's on waiting with bated breath for tomorrow for Powell, 30 minutes after the market opens. In 15 minutes, I'm going to wrap this up, or it's going to get me out first. Either one, I'm totally fine with. All right, shared that in the group. Well, we got exactly the day that we thought we would get. right. Come on and put me out so I can get to work. Now, had I done this with multiple contracts, so let's say we'd have done that with 3 contracts, well, I would take 2 of them off here. That would be 10 points and 10 points. Then I would move my original entry. Let's just do that real quick here. Original entry was 72, right? 25, yeah. Where would that be for this low over here? It'd have to be 10 points or more. I don't think I would have to do that. So I'd probably take 10 and 10 and keep 1 just behind today's low. That's what I would do. I was trying to keep it below Wednesday's low, but I don't think that's would be what I would do, even with 3 contracts. All right, let's go to 3 minute. Let's bring up the strong levels. All right, almost getting me. This is why you don't want to enter a trade at POC. It's just a magnet. You get above it, it pulls it back in. You get below it, it pulls it back in. So you really don't want to enter trades at POC, in my humble opinion. Your mileage may vary. All right, let's go. Almost back to a 20 pointer again. There we go. Come on. Come on. Now, this time, can we break that? Backtest trend line and strong level and get up here. Let me turn on all my session levels. Yeah, to the overnight high. Let's keep it simple. Just keep your hands off the mouse and let price do what it's going to do. Much like the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to. God grant me the serenity to. Oh my goodness. Lord, grant me the serenity. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I was going to get my prayer thing, but yeah, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Um, what do I control? My size, my location, the timing, and then I'm just a twig on the shoulders of a mighty stream. If you know where that came from, John Candy in the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So can we get up there? Can we do it? I'm thinking we're not going to do it. What do I know? Nothing wrong that if a person got sick of watching this, you're about to round into the power hour, you take your 20 pointer right there and call it done. Close up shop, be happy with your trade. You did great. If you have the type of account you can hold, you want to hold. There we go. Oh, come on. Wanted to grab that overnight high. Still, we're at the edge here where POC holds that magnetic power. If we can bust above this, we're probably going to have a decent move. But we're right here at the outer edge of where POC just sucks price back in. My humble opinion. Your mileage may vary. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come on. And I don't know if I said it out loud, but I said it in the group. For those who took this trade, there's nothing wrong with taking your 20 pointer here. Move your stop up wherever you might have gotten in. Locking 10 here if that's what you've got. Locking 20 if that's what you got. Nothing wrong with that at all. We are now in power hour. Absolutely anything can happen. Even if you followed at 50% now and go, okay, we're in the power hour. I'm going to follow at 50%. Every 2 ticks it goes up, I'm going to move with it. You know what I mean? Just follow it at 50%. And then if we get above the strong level and the trend line, just keep it behind the strong level in the trend line. Let it do what it's going to do. And if you have to close at the end of the day, you just close at the end of the day. All right, come on. Let's break free from POC. Break it. All right, come on. Man, I know I was going to quit at the top of the hour, but it's a good trade. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out of it. So obviously the next point of interest is the strong level. Do we just hit that and slam back in? If we do, I'll probably lock my 20 pointer and walk. But there's absolutely nothing wrong in keeping it at 10 points and just letting it marinate. But we are laddering down. You have to know that. Longs are a counter. It was a fantastic day with little to no stress. Although this was a slop and chop fest, it was very easy to trade. All right, at the bottom of the hour, I'll definitely have to pop off and get my battle plan started. So 22 minutes. See if we can pop above that and give us a little something, something. My goodness, this is excruciating. All you can do is wait or take your 20 pointer. All right, come on. Looks like the power of POC is going to pull it back in. And pulling it back into POC. You know, and I'm going to go ahead and end this so I can work on tonight's battle plan. I'll update you on how this finishes. I hope you had a great day. I'll see you later. All right, so I'm finishing editing the video that you are watching right now. And as you can tell, I wanted to just do an update. Did it get me out? Did we make it all the way up here? Well, this is, you keep dreaming that dream trade. And I'm still in this long from this entry. It did not get me out, locking my 10 pointer. And of course, we're just hugging right here at the strong level. So I will stay long. I need to finish the battle plan. If you want to get that battle plan, go to microstrader.com and click battle plan.